Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and it is time for the Raw review. Great show tonight. You know, it really does seem like they're turning things around now. WrestleMania marked a sudden switch. They decided to do things differently. And this is very welcome to me. It's about fucking time. Let's start off. This show starts with Daniel Bryan cutting a promo. What an emotional moment that was, with the crowd chanting, "You deserve it." I'm not, something I'm not ashamed to admit that I got a little bit choked up. It was, as a wrestling fan, to see that. The crowd just paying, homage to Daniel Bryan. Appreciating this great moment. Daniel Bryan being very likable here. Then you got Triple H, motherfucking Triple H coming out, spoiling everything. Of course, he's got to, Triple H challenges Bryan to a match later in the night. Good segment to open up the show. Good way to show that, Bryan's title is always going to be in jeopardy. I hope that it's not always going to be just about Triple H all the time and Triple H sending his cronies after Daniel Bryan. As they said, this is not Austin McMahon. It doesn't have the same feel, but, for now, I guess it's okay that Bryan has to overcome the authority, but I hope that soon he can, feud with some other people, some more talented people. Then you got the Wyatts defeating John Cena, Big E, Langston, and Sheamus in the opening match. This match was great. There was action all over the place. This was fast-paced, exciting. It wasn't one of those boring-ass tag matches that I always complain about, where they're just beating one guy down in the corner. No, this was all-out action. They were everywhere, and the crowd was so into it. And this was exciting. It's about time we got an exciting match, and Cena goes in there and he got his ass kicked. Luke Harper, I know they've done this before, but everybody was chanting for Harper. Even finally the announcers admitted that, people are fans of the Wyatts. They're not fans of the baby faces. And, this might be, this New Orleans crowd. You had a mixture of UK fans in there, so the crowd was more hyped up than usual. But the thing is, it's still, most people don't like these goofballs on the babyface team. As I said, Sheamus still has potential as a heel, but Cena and Big E, this is the type of shit that needs to go in this new era that they're trying to, put together here. This is still the same old bullshit. It's time to put that shit on the shelf and forget about it, It's time to throw that shit out like rotten milk, and it is like rotten milk. It's starting to smell. It's starting to get real stale. I'm starting to fucking vomit from it. But, good match, and, at least they're finding ways to use Cena where he doesn't have to be champion. It's about fucking time. Then you got a little promo video for Bo Dallas. As I said when I reviewed NXT Arrival, I don't think Bo Dallas is like anything really spectacular in ring. He's nothing like his brother. But, he is good when it comes to cutting promos. He's good on the mic now. They've gotten away with this before where people, manage to get away with their talking, and the ignorance, not like he's horrible in ring, but he's not great. They definitely need to work on this. Maybe when he comes to WWE, some people can help him out, in certain matches. Maybe, they can help him find his groove. But, anyway, the Bo Leave gimmick it's funny, there's potential to be had here. I just hope that they don't goofball it up like usual. It doesn't get too fucking goofy, but I like the fake positivity where he's actually like a really evil heel, but he puts on a persona that he's a nice guy. This has potential. They could do some funny segments. I won't judge until I see it. Then we got Santino and Emma defeating Fandango and Summer Rae. And this is the type of bullshit that needs to stop in this new era, so to speak. If it's truly the reality era, then let's get fucking real already. Let's stop doing this fucking bullshit that belongs on a fucking cartoon show. I like Emma. She has potential as a woman's wrestler. As I said, she had a great match when I watched NXT Arrival. Why can't we get those matches from Emma on fucking Raw? If anything, since she's in the big time now, shouldn't she be having bigger time matches? Instead, she's teaming with Santino, and I know that she was always supposed to be silly with the dance and all that. But come on. Why does she have to incorporate the whole power walk to the ring and everything? Why can't she at least, just be who she was in NXT? A little silly, but that wrestling edge. Why, since she's been in WWE, has she been doing nothing but goofball skits? And it's not like anybody's getting behind this. With her and Santino and this, relationship angle. And what is it? Are they just going to have matches with Fandango and Summer Rae until the end of time? What the fuck is the point? I don't even understand, why they even bother. Well, this is not going anywhere. This is not a feud that anybody is cheering during. This is just a match where everybody is bored during it. I don't get why they still continue this. These are things that are unnecessary here in WWE. To keep doing this shit is just fucking mind-boggling. Why have matches that no one, finds appealing? I don't find this appealing at all. I find it to be very annoying and very repetitive. Booking the same goddamn match week after week, expecting people to finally just put up with it. But no, if this is the reality here, then we're going to let you know that in reality we think this is bullshit. Then you got a Paul Heyman promo. And what a Paul Heyman promo it was, motherfuckers. I appreciated this promo. Telling all the motherfucking crybabies out there that Brock Lesnar broke the streak. And he's right, he did tell us so. Brock Lesnar is legit. What don't you people realize about this? This is a real fucking fighter, a guy that has really fucking hurt people. He was the UFC heavyweight champion. Not a small accomplishment. And he did it right away, and he beat one of the big dogs, Randy Couture. I know a lot of you goofballs out there in the YWC who hate on WWE say that the UFC is the best, right? Well, if UFC is the best, then that means that Brock is one of the best. Because he was one of the champions there. And he reigned for quite some time. And the only reason he was dethroned was because he had a major stomach problem. He was leaking fecal matter into his own body. And this was horrible. This terrible disease is what made Brock Lesnar quit UFC. Other than that, he would still be dominating today. So Paul Heyman comes out, and when he was doing the slow talking thing, it got a little bit annoying, but he was right. The whole promo, just finding a way to get under the fan's skin, to just, make all the crybabies shut up. Tell them a bit of truth. yes, the Undertaker streak is over, and people keep on crying about this, even though they asked for something shocking. You know, people cry, as I said, I did a separate video on this. You could even check it out if you want to hear me talk about it more at length. When I think about these crybabies about, you know, them hating on Undertaker's streak ending and, you know, and hating on Brock Lesnar. The thing is, it's like people cried and complained that they wanted, you know, change in this company. They wanted, you know, the norm to, you know, differentiate it. You know, they wanted something different, something new to come along. Something new comes along. They beg for the Attitude Era. You know, we all beg. I'm even guilty of this, for Attitude Era style moments. Shocking. Crash TV. Moments to remember. You know, epic moments that are unforgettable. Like during the Attitude Era and during, you know, just other better periods in WWE history. They finally give us several moments, and one of those big moments was finally the streak ending at the hands of a guy like Brock Lesnar, a huge, muscular guy with great wrestling ability and credentials in real sports, and a guy that Undertaker respects. This is one of Undertaker's favorite wrestlers from the current generation. And this is something that Undertaker approved. And everybody is raging that they don't like it, that it's wrong. They're believing this rumor from one site that Brock Lesnar changed the script in the middle of the match, and, you know, somehow, like, Undertaker couldn't do anything about this. Well, that rumor was proven false. It was from some garbage website. It was only from one website. And people, when they find out a little bit of information proving that they may be right, they cling to it. You know, they cling to it like it's their own life. And, you know, and they continue to bitch and complain and moan. And Paul Heyman told them straight up, shut up. The streak is over whether you like it or not. And I liked this promo. I liked how, you know, how Paul Heyman then talked about Undertaker collapsing backstage. You know, people don't want to hear that Undertaker, you know, may retire because people are selfish. They want him to wrestle for 20 more years even though he's hurt. Even though the man has had a prosthetic hip since like the year 1999. When he came back as the biker, the reason why he missed WrestleMania 2000 is because they were implanting a prosthetic hip, and this isn't a joke. You could go look it up. You know, the guy actually has like a fucking prosthetic hip, and he still continued to wrestle for 14 more years because of you selfish fucks. Here we go. So, you know, Heyman talks about it, that Vince McMahon rode in the ambulance, and people are booing, but, you know, this is how you get a heel reaction. This was a great fucking moment in promo to, you know, commemorate the victory of Brock Lesnar, the man who ended the streak. Then you had the Usos and Batista and Randy Orton, and they wrestled to a double countout. You know, not much of a match here, but Batista bombs one of the Usos onto the steel steps. They just destroy them. And I like seeing the Usos, this annoying fucking jobber tag team, get destroyed. Could be interesting seeing Orton and Batista working together as a team. You know, this could lead to something. They could be sort of like a hit squad and just, you know, go around destroying tag teams. It's pretty good, you know. It's better than having these guys as, you know, as singles wrestlers, because they're just boring that way. Maybe they can put together something great. You know, they were working very well together in the triple threat match at WrestleMania. So maybe they can build off of that. Yeah, I think that something good can maybe come of this little team. I don't know about making them tag champs, but, you know, maybe we could have a couple of main events with them as a team. It might be decent. Then you had RVD returning, motherfuckers. Now, I don't like that he beats Sandow. Sandow's always got to be the guy to do the job, but RVD is back, and I really don't know what the plan is here with RVD, what they're gonna do. You know, I definitely want to see RVD face off against Daniel Bryan at least once. Got to get that match in there. You know, maybe RVD versus Seth Rollins. Now's the point in time. They got to get every single possible match out of RVD that they can. A good match, you know, and just get it done already. Now, realistically, I don't think he's ever going to be world champion again. I don't think that's going to happen. But, you know, now's the time to get all the dream matches out of the way. Let RVD just wrestle a couple of good pay-per-view matches. Yeah, maybe give him one world title shot. And then, you know, that's probably going to be it for RVD, because it's kind of obvious. He's very injury prone. You know, his leg isn't doing so well. So they got to get, you know, RVD to have one good last run here, because it might be his last. Because next time he gets injured, it might be the last time he could really afford it. So hopefully, you know, this is a good run here for RVD, and this was pretty exciting to see him come back. We knew it was going to happen. I talked about it during my Raw preview, but great to see RVD, a true legend, return. Then it was Bad News Barrett defeating Rey Mysterio, and I like this. You know, if they're going to do something with Bad News, you know, the gimmick isn't bad. He hasn't really said that much funny stuff every single time he's got up there, but, you know, maybe they could work on it. If he could be on, you know, a larger scale. Maybe if he could cut promos being Bad News Barrett instead of just doing the whole podium shtick. Maybe it could catch on. Huge reaction because you had some UK fans there. But in general, just everybody was, you know, happy to see Bad News Barrett. Barrett then just fucking elbows Rey Mysterio off the top rope, flipping, and just crushes him. You know, I don't know, but something inside of me was very happy to see Rey Mysterio get beat that quick. Mysterio is pretty much finished. They don't give two shits about Mysterio. I guess because he's, you know, he's so injury prone, there isn't the point. But, you know, have a little bit of respect for the man. Just, you know, fucking come to terms on his release if you're not going to do shit with him. But, yeah, Bad News Barrett, you know, the guy does have potential as a, you know, as a good character. They could make him into like a real big, interesting, funny heel if they wanted to. And by the way, I've got some bad news. The streak is over, dumb fucks. I just thought I'd try a little bit of hashtag there myself. Anyway, Adam Rose, another NXT guy, is coming. You know, Adam Rose, another charismatic wrestler. You know, another guy where, you know, they're trying some different gimmick. He's going to have, you know, like a party guy gimmick, you know. You know, let's see what happens once again with this. You know, WWE guys, and then in the way how they are in NXT is totally different most of the time. So, you know, we will see what happens. You know, there's been some success stories with NXT. But, you know, then there's other guys that come over and they don't really go far, like Fandango, for example. Then you got Alexander Rusev defeating Ryder. So the man finally debuts. It was just a squash match here, you know. I guess it was alright seeing Rusev. You know, the guy looks like he could get some, you know, good power moves going here, but, you know, I really need to see more out of Rusev. Him talking on the stage, just doing a couple of power moves here and there. You know, that was the same thing he was doing in NXT, just overpowering people. not really, much substance from this guy so far. So, I ain't gonna jump on his bandwagon. The whole Russian shtick is a little bit lame and cheesy. It is a bit goofy, just coming out there with the whole, Russian writing on his entrance. It's just cheesy. And, and it's very similar to how Vladimir Kozlov started off. Just very Russian, very serious, just very Cold War-like. And, the thing is, it's a little bit outdated, this gimmick. It's like something that belonged in the 80s. But, once again, it's new. I won't judge it right away. I'll be fair. I'm going to be a fair guy. Then the Ultimate Warrior comes out, no face paint or anything. He puts on the jacket. Good promo here from the Warrior. It was a little bit cheesy, him putting on the mask that I even had as a kid. I think they would have been better, like, just, maybe dyeing his hair. Maybe, putting on the face paint instead of just doing the whole mask shtick. That was a little bit disappointing. I don't know how his build is because we've only seen him really so far in a suit. So I don't think he can come out there in the tights anymore. But, it was a good promo. Warrior being very inspirational here to the crowd. Just telling them that, the Warrior will live on forever. So, this is the farewell speech, the last time we'll see the Warrior, then, that's okay with me. It was a good speech. People will remember this. He's in the Hall of Fame. So good stuff here from Warrior, I guess. Always going to be one of my favorites of all time, one of my favorite characters. He's caught a lot of flack over the years, but that is because WWE is responsible for most of that flack. But good thing that they're realizing that this man is a guy who made them a lot of money. And you see that mask he was wearing there? That's one of the reasons why they made a lot of money, because the man sold a lot of merchandise back in the day. Then you got Paige coming out. AJ starts cutting a promo. Paige comes out to congratulate her on her victory at WrestleMania. AJ challenges Paige to a match, and she ends up beating her in like a minute. She ends up hitting the Paige Turner, and there's your new Divas champ. And that was a great moment. Everybody cheering for Paige. Everybody was happy to finally see her making her big debut. Now she's got the Divas Championship. Now it's time for her to have another match with Emma. Book that fucking match already. Let's have a rematch like they had at NXT Arrival. And just have a great fucking match. Start now making this division something to remember. When AJ is champion, this division has been total fucking shit. People seem to say that it improved, that she was a good champion. And how? Why? I will admit this. AJ is great as a heel. The way how she was mocking Paige, it was great. She's a great personality, I won't give her that. But as a wrestler, she leaves a lot to be desired. She doesn't have any fucking moves. She doesn't really do anything in the ring. And so all this praise is definitely unwarranted. But Paige is a great wrestler, a great technical wrestler, and she deserves to have this moment. She deserves to have this title, and she should have a nice long reign. There's no other divas that deserve this belt, so, maybe she could have good matches with Natalya even, some other technical divas. So this is another good moment tonight. Finally getting one of the female wrestlers that's actually good on the main roster. Then Cesaro and Hogan, they have the acceptance speech, for the for the trophy for the Battle Royal. And Zeb Coulter takes the microphone from Cesaro. And then all of a sudden, Cesaro says that he doesn't want Zeb Coulter talking for him anymore. And he introduces his new manager, Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman comes out, him and Zeb Coulter, I really like this. They were exchanging words. And then you had Jack Swagger attacking him from behind, destroying the trophy. And, this adds a new scope to the whole feud here with Swagger and Cesaro, Zeb Coulter and Paul Heyman. We could get some great promos from these guys. You got two wrestlers with great with great wrestling skills, and then you got two managers with great promo skills, and this could really make the feud exciting. This was a great move here, putting him with Paul Heyman. Cesaro, and Heyman could, this isn't like Curtis Axel. At least this guy knows how to really fucking wrestle. And Heyman, they could have Heyman really take him to the top. Cesaro, I said, ain't good promos, but Heyman is. So they could really build off of this, and then this ends up leading to a match. Match was, pretty decent. It was pretty good, fast-paced action. But then Zeb Coulter takes Swagger, and they start heading up the ramp. They ended up getting counted out. This is pretty obviously going to be a match at the pay-per-view. They're going to probably end up having an Extreme Rules match because it's going to be a grudge match, and I'm looking forward to this match. So far what I saw was pretty good. They could really put together a good, technical, exciting match. These are two guys that know how to work a faster-paced match. And, so this could be one of the better feuds, post-Mania. You have two great managers backing it up. Then, in the main event, you had Daniel Bryan and Triple H, but before it even gets started, you have Batista and Orton come out. They start beating the shit out of Daniel Bryan. Kane comes out, chokeslam, and then Triple H comes out and tells him to ring the bell. It's going to be the end of Daniel Bryan's title run. He's going to pin him. But then the Shield comes out and they beat the shit out of Triple H and they save Bryan. Now this right here was a great moment. The Shield and Bryan, their best wrestlers, standing tall at the end of the show. Not Cena, not anybody else, no fucking goofballs, no. The best ones, the ones that the crowd wants to see. Now, I don't know what happened to the dissension in the Shield and all this stuff. I don't know what that storyline was all about and, why we're here now, but, things look pretty good here. Daniel Bryan and the Shield backing him, it adds a new dimension if they're going to carry on with this. I guess that they might have Orton and Batista with Kane or Triple H against Bryan in the Shield. They could have an 8-man tag. It could be a pretty good match. I hope that they don't have it at the pay-per-view. I want to see Bryan defend this title, but if they could book that match maybe on a Raw, now that would be pretty good, motherfuckers, So overall, I pretty much enjoyed the shit out of this show. You had a lot of fucking good moments, to run through them, like you had RVD returning, you had, new wrestlers, being introduced, a title change from a wrestler that a lot of people wanted to see, Warrior saying goodbye to everybody. Developments with Cesaro. Cesaro is now going to be a top guy. They're going to try to take him to the top. A good match with the Wyatts to start off the show. Just, a lot of good shit here. Paul Heyman with an awesome promo, kind of promo on them crybabies out there in the IWC. Anyway, motherfuckers, this was a great show, and the WWE, once again, it looks like they have potential to do good. They're changing, they're listening, they're changing things, slowly but surely. Maybe we could get things back on track. Alright.